So this is the daughter of the ruler of Dubai, and apparently she uses controversial rule on social media.
So apparently the thing is, it's actually a control thing. I don't know if I can speak about sheikhs.
No, not speak.
So these guys actually pay these women to hold a strict diet for like 2 weeks so that they can know that they are in complete control of what that woman is putting into her body. And
Welcome back to the Fame Street, where the latest drama and hottest gossip never stop. To my loyal viewers, you know we always spill the tea and uncover every secret. And for my new viewers, a special welcome. You've just found the spot where every story is broken down with no detail left out. If you live for gossip, this is your new go-to place. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss what the Fame Street brings next. Nobody throws shade quite like 50 Cent when it comes to French Montana. If French does even the smallest thing wrong, Fif always has a troll lined up and ready to go. This time though, his trolling sparked something much bigger than a joke. The comments opened up a whole can of worms that people can't stop talking about. Apparently, French isn't just dodging drama, he may have run straight into something even messier.
You know, so I usually do my homework. I'll find somebody who knows somebody or something. If you give me some information, like who is it? Like who is he? And you know, Frenchie, they got me the tape. They got me the tape of his mother's house, where his mom's work at. You know what I'm saying? The other cribs, the studios, stuff like that.
That's the Cali tape.
Right.
Okay.
So here's the headline making rounds. French Montana is reportedly engaged to a Dubai princess worth an eye-popping $18 billion. On the surface, it sounds like a fairy tale upgrade, going from local rapper moves to global royalty overnight. To casual fans, it looks like a dream come true. But when you dig past the shiny surface, the story starts looking questionable. Word is, this engagement isn't about romance, it's about survival. Back in the day, French was closely tied to Diddy, and now the feds are circling everyone connected to those infamous bad boy parties. With heat closing in, insiders say French needed an exit plan. And what better escape than Dubai? A place where skyscrapers gleam, luxury cars flood the streets, and money never seems to run out. On paper, it's the perfect safe haven. But every paradise has its shadows. Those who know Dubai's underbelly say certain royal circles aren't to be taken lightly. The wealth is untouchable, the power absolute, and the whispers of what happens behind palace doors are darker than most realize. For years, rumors have floated about princes collecting favorites and celebrities being flown out for situations too wild for television. Now, French Montana, long known for chasing big money and wild parties, suddenly lands in a royal engagement with billions attached. The timing feels just a little too neat, and this is where 50 Cent's trolling cuts deeper than jokes. When he clowns French about being bought, he's hinting that French didn't just score a ring, he traded control. He may have escaped Diddy's fire only to land in Dubai's golden cage. From the outside, it sparkles with privilege, but the bars are heavy, and the consequences for missteps are severe. In that world, freedom comes at a steep price. In the US, scandals eventually cool down and even federal probes can stall or cut deals. But royalty in Dubai is a whole different game. They don't just play chess, they own the board. French might believe he secured his freedom, but if even half the rumors about palace life are true, he simply swapped one leash for another. And this new master isn't forgiving.
Out, like we said, and now you have real deals on the table. And out of all those, you go with Diddy.
That's not how it really went.
Was it Diddy? Was it Bad Boy MMG?
Yeah, I went to go see Ross, and Ross was like, "I got an opportunity for you. I don't have the money for you, but I got the opportunity." I guess because the same thing Meek did, the same thing Wale did. I guess whatever the way the situation, his label was, he wasn't trying to give me the money I wanted, and I wanted like a whole bunch of money. But he was like, "Look, let's do it like this. Let's co-puff. And let's get him to give you the bag. You can still be MMG / you know what I'm saying? Bad Boy, Coast Boys, yep."
Right. How much money did you get?
Now let's rewind for a minute. Because French Montana's so-called escape to Dubai doesn't make sense without first looking at how he got tied up in Diddy's empire. French didn't just drop pop that and walk into a record deal overnight. The whispers around that signing have always sounded suspicious. And now with all the receipts coming out about Diddy over the past few years, people are re-examining that entire situation with fresh eyes. Suddenly, it all looks a lot darker than it did back then. French wasn't a starving artist begging for any label to notice him. He actually had multiple real offers on the table. Roc Nation wanted him, Rick Ross and MG were ready to sign him, and even Kanye's camp was circling. But instead of going with those options, French sat down with Diddy, a man already known for shady contracts, infamous house parties, and extra requirements that had nothing to do with music. And that decision raised eyebrows immediately. Bad Boy wasn't just a label. It was a lifestyle. According to the streets, that lifestyle came with hidden costs that went beyond money. Diddy wasn't just offering French a check, he was offering access to wild parties, women, and the unspoken deal of playing the game for rewards. People noticed the pattern early, and every flashback since makes the choice look even murkier. French himself even admitted he took less upfront money than Ross or Jay were offering, which only fueled more speculation. Why take a smaller bag if it was really just business? Every time French was spotted stumbling out of one of those infamous villas, people clocked the timing. Photos and clips from 2016 through 2019 show him looking drained, always after one of Diddy's private celebrations. When Diddy was arrested in 2024, the picture got even worse. Industry insiders started talking, claiming some deals weren't about music but about loyalty and silence. One producer even said Diddy blackballed him for refusing to join those private sessions. With that context, French's rapid rise at Bad Boy looks different. You had Diddy gifting him his own French vanilla flavor after a wild celebration. That viral birthday video where Diddy's in a robe while French sits shirtless next to him. And countless rumors tying him too close to the chaos. French brushed it off, saying he just wanted the big bag and Diddy was the one willing to hand it over. To casual fans, it seemed like a normal signing. But to the streets, it looked like a sacrifice for success. And that's exactly why people believe his Dubai engagement follows the same pattern. The move looks less like a fairy tale and more like another survival tactic. Just as he once traded creative freedom for Bad Boy access, he may now be trading independence for royal protection. The numbers, the timing, and the history all connect. To many, French hasn't escaped the game, he's just playing it on a bigger, riskier stage.
Hi guys.
Here's where the rabbit hole really opens. In the summer of 2024, French Montana appeared at Paris Fashion Week, not just showing off a designer fit but allegedly a fiancé. And this wasn't some ordinary Bronx love story. This was Shire, a princess directly tied to one of Dubai's ruling families. That's not romance, that's strategy, a chess move made in public view. At the same time, the feds back home were tightening their grip on Diddy. The freak tape whispers, trafficking rumors, shady money trails, and prosecutors stacking evidence all came to a head. Anyone connected to Diddy instantly became radioactive. Assistants, producers, even people just partying in the background were getting subpoenaed. And French wasn't just a casual acquaintance. He had been Diddy's shadow for years. The birthday trips, the Cyrock endorsements, the endless cosigns all tied him directly to the empire under fire. If the feds were mapping Diddy's network, French's name would have been glowing. So what did the French do? He didn't just step away quietly. He crossed the map and linked up with one of the wealthiest dynasties in the Middle East. The Sheikh's family is rumored to control a fortune of more than $18 billion. That's generational oil wealth, money so deep that billions look like pocket change. And marrying into that doesn't just buy status, it buys security. Residency in a nation that doesn't tolerate outside interference is priceless when your old circle is under federal scrutiny. For a man with close ties to Diddy, that's not romance, that's survival dressed in Cartier. The speed of it all raised eyebrows. The engagement surfaced right as investigations in the States were heating up. Suddenly, French was posting from Dubai more than New York or Law. To fans, it looked like a whirlwind love story, but to critics, it was the cleanest exit plan ever written. The optics only sharpened the suspicion. Each time French posed with his princess, he looked fresher, sharper, almost reborn in luxury. But the comments never stayed sweet. One person wrote, "Boy, you traded in Diddy for Dubai." Another added, "Better hope the sheiks don't treat you the way Puff did." The internet wasn't buying the fairy tale. They saw a man swapping one powerful boss for another.
Tell you what I actually learned. A friend of mine is an air hostess, and her friend was on a flight with her, and her friend was eating like a very specific diet. So apparently the thing is, it's actually a control thing. I don't know if I can speak about sheikhs.
No, speak.
So these guys actually pay these women to hold a strict diet for like 2 weeks so that they can know that they are in complete control of what that woman is putting into her body, and the girl needs to shit on them.
Wow.
So the girls aren't even getting shat on, the girls are shitting on these guys, because then the guys feel like it's sick, like it's a control thing. So then they know, like, oh, you listened to me for 2 weeks.
Yeah, so that's probably their kink, that girls actually listen to them.
No 2-minute noodles.
Dubai.
Here's the part French Montana likely wishes the media would avoid, but it can be ignored. Escaping Uncle Sam by moving to the way doesn't always bring freedom. Sometimes it just means you've entered another agreement you can't back out from. Dubai loves flashing its polished image, with luxury cars lined up like cabs, towers reaching the sky, and exotic pets cruising on yachts. But beneath the shine, stories have been circulating for years. Celebrities and influencers often travel there chasing tax-free glamour, only to return whispering about gatherings where outsiders weren't treated as equals. Instead, they were allegedly pulled into situations they couldn't control. When you stand with millions beside people holding billions, the balance of power isn't yours. They dictate the terms. That's the position the French faces while standing beside Sheikh Amara's powerful family. In their eyes, he isn't a mogul. Abroad, he may shine, but in Dubai, he's ornamental at best. He lacks political ties, royal heritage, and authority, leaving him with attention but little leverage. That's why people online call his move less of an escape and more of a transfer of ownership. Forget Miami scandals, now it's palace walls and dynastic influence shaping his life. And let's not pretend this family's record is spotless. They've weathered global controversies too. Remember Sheikh Amara's viral Instagram divorce in 2024? She stunned the public by ending her marriage with 3 blunt words: "I divorce you." Acts like that show just how chaotic life inside royal households can be. Add to that her relatives' sagas, like Princess Latifa's failed attempt to flee and Princess Shams's alleged abduction, all connected to their father, Dubai's ruler. That makes him French's new father-in-law, a man already tied to troubling headlines. Suddenly, the glamorous love story looks far less appealing. No wonder critics roast French's so-called $7 billion plan. On the surface, it seems brilliant: marry into extreme wealth, secure residency, and shelter under royal protection if trouble arrives. But socially, it feels all too familiar. For years, people mocked him for being Diddy's closest companion, the questionable birthday dinners, the expensive gifts, and the celebrations that raised eyebrows. Now the whispers say he hasn't left that world behind, but simply stepped into a larger version of it. One powerful figure replaced by an entire dynasty. Hip-hop always painted French as the hustler from the Bronx who broke into the big stage, but this stage is different. Dubai royalty isn't a record label you can outgrow. You don't overshadow them, you don't risk their image, and you definitely don't survive once you're no longer useful. If even fragments of the palace rumors are true, French didn't remove a leash. He only upgraded it to a golden cage.
And I'm sure there were some other ones also.
I came to Steve Rifkin when I had Chopper Down. I walked in the office, it was him and Gabi. And Gabi was the manager. I was like, yo, Steve, give me $200,000. Let me go make music. You know what I'm saying? Just let me. Steve was like, nah, I'll give it to you.
Never got it.
Never got it. I dropped.
Which is funny because Gabi's the president of SRC. Steve is like the CEO, but
so I don't know what type of
but Steve makes the final call.
Yeah. So I asked for $200,000.
Now let's keep it real. The loudest voice clowning French Montana isn't a blogger or some random fan. It's none other than 50 Cent. And this is where things get spicy. Most people think 50 is just trolling for laughs. But what if the shade is really a warning? He's got that energy where he'll roast you non-stop. But deep down, he doesn't want to watch you crash. For years, 50 has brushed French off as irrelevant, calling him washed and labeling him leftovers. But maybe he sees the setup French is walking into. Because let's be honest, this isn't just about a Dubai romance. French ran head first into a royal chessboard, and in that game he isn't the king. At best, he's a pawn moving under someone else's hand. Here's the twist though. French might not even realize it. To the world, it looks like he traded one leash for another. But to him, it feels like leveling up. From Bronx mixtape stairwells to golden palaces with billion-dollar security, that's a glow up in his eyes. What outsiders call a cage, French probably calls comfort. Think about it. Velvet seats, drivers on call, and scandals erased before they even hit the blogs. For French, this is a dream he's always chased. Maybe he's not free, but he's living in a luxury bubble most rappers would kill for. And that's exactly why 50's words sting so hard. Behind every shady post lies a truth nobody wants to admit. 50 Cent built his empire by standing on his own, turning street power into business power, and making himself untouchable. French, on the other hand, flipped his hustle into dependency. But in exchange, he gained insulation that few artists ever achieve. Who's really losing here? That's the paradox French now lives inside. The internet views him as property, while he probably feels like royalty. And maybe that's the craziest twist of all. 50 might drag him on social media at every chance, but French could be sipping tea in a palace, smiling like this was his plan from the start. So now the question is clear. Did he escape one fire just to walk into another? Or did he pull off the slickest power move hip-hop has seen in years? That wraps up today's scoop on the Fame Street. If you like this breakdown, make sure to hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe so you never miss the latest gossip. Stay tuned for more exclusive updates, juicy stories, and behind-the-scenes drama you won't want to miss.